was kind of the next step in your off-season evaluation? What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, you always learn a lot about your team the first time going up against another opponent, especially a high major opponent like Utah. And it was really good for us. They have great size. They're physical. They shoot it very well. So it was a really good scrimmage for us. One thing that really stood out when we went back in our shot distribution, we were 8 for 25 at the rim. So, you go in there, you make it the ones you're supposed to make. It would have been a really good scrimmage for us. Every mistake we made is correctable. We had a very long film session the day after, took a day off, and then came in and had a very long film session to address a lot of the things that are giving us problems right now. And now the next step is carrying that over to the game on Sunday, playing against an opponent in front of fans. So we played against ourselves in front of fans, an opponent in an empty gym, and now an opponent with fans, and a team that's going to be a good challenge for us. They lost to Toledo by 5. This Grand Valley State team, and Toledo's projected to win their league. So this is a team that's going to give us, pose different problems. Cornell Man, we worked together at Iowa State, and I know they're going to come out and defend us. They're going to pick up. They're going to be physical. They're going to guard, and they've got guys that can really shoot the ball. So it's going to be a good team that we're playing, and then we get a week to clean up heading into the opener, a team that made 25 threes in their scrimmage the other day. So get some good early season tests for us. And, again, hopefully what we're looking for is to correct mistakes that are happening with our team right now, and hopefully build and grow and be ready on the 4th.
What are some of those mistakes that are kind of glaring at you right
now? Yeah, a lot of it's communication. We need to do a better job of going out there and talking to each other, making sure we execute our coverages. Offensively, just keep the ball moving, making simple plays. We did a good job taking care of the ball. We only had 7 turnovers in our game at Utah. If we can duplicate that all year, I think we're going to be a very good team. We have to value possessions, and we got lost a few times out there. Physicality at times was a problem for us, but overall, we gave them under 10 offensive rebounds, and that's a physical, long team. So that was solid, but we can always get better in that area.
It seemed like you felt pretty good about the chemistry earlier in the summer. Now, a couple of weeks from it being for real, how do you feel that's developed? Your last few teams obviously had a good we're in sync in that way.
Yeah, the chemistry, it continues to be good, and the challenge now, it's always good until you play your first game, and then you have to make sure that you continue on with the message. And I talked about this a lot in the preseason. Our biggest challenge is going to be our rotation and who we're going to play, because we've got a lot of guys certainly that are capable. And how is your attitude going to continue to be if maybe you don't get the role that you're looking for, knowing that it can always change? And we've had that happen a few times just based on injuries or circumstance where it has elevated somebody's role. And I really do think these guys genuinely like each other. That's a good start. They compete against each other. Nothing is personal. They're coachable. I really have enjoyed the group from that standpoint. A couple injury updates. So Sam, he did not play in the scrimmage against Utah. We're continuing to hold him out. He had a pretty good sprain on his ankle, and the foot that's bothering him now is the other foot, because I think he overcompensated when he got back on the court. He healed quickly from the sprain, but now his other foot's bothering him, so just out of precaution, we're keeping him off the floor right now. Andrew Morgan is in the concussion protocol. He had a pretty good collision in practice yesterday. Now he's in the protocol to try to get how many steps it is now to get cleared. Very doubtful he'll play this weekend, but hopefully we'll have him back for the opener.
What is with the new guys who entered in now a week away from playing, what is kind of the learning curve of getting acclimated to their new surroundings, and where are they at this point?
Yeah, big thing, what we're looking for once we get out there, I can't remember what coach talked about. It might have been Chris Finch that I heard the other day talking about, now that it's for real, guys try to go out and do too much. We don't need to go out and reinvent the wheel. We're a pretty solid basketball team when we just go out and play the right way and keep the ball moving and communicate on defense and don't try to jump off the page. And, team gets a run on us, try to get it all back at once, by jumping off the map, and then you're in trouble. The other 4 guys have no idea what's going on if one guy does that. So it's just staying solid, staying consistent. We're just looking for the same thing in the game that we do in practice every day, going all the way back to when we started doing live stuff in July. And I think this team is capable of doing that. Are we going to have some growing pains along the way? Sure. Everybody does, especially in today's climate with so many new faces. I have an idea on the rotation right now, but I guarantee you it will change. So, guys just always have to be ready, be prepared, go out there, execute your role, and hopefully give us a chance to get off to a really good start this season.
Have you settled on starting five at all?
No, I really haven't. We started in our game. We started big out in Utah with Raleigh, Bryce, Juwan, Burke, and Braxton. But I may start different this weekend just to throw a different group out there to see what it looks like. Threw a little bit different group out in the second half. Basically, the way the scrimmage works is we played a 20-minute like a game, and then we played another 20-minute just to work on situations. That's how we've done it the last couple of years with Utah, and it's been good for us to get those game-like end-of-game situations. So as far as exactly what we're going to do on Sunday, we may go a little bit different. I don't know yet. We've got 2 days to figure it out.
What has Burke showed you in that scrimmage?
Yeah, Burke, I think you saw what he did in our red-white scrimmage where he had 13 and 13. Did some really good things out in the Utah scrimmage, and there were some things that he needs to clean up as far as a discipline, consistency type thing that I thought was really good in the last couple of days of practice. So just really, really talented. For a guy that's 6'10", every bit of 6'10", his ability to pass, shoot, and dribble, I think his ball skills probably are the best thing that he does, and especially with not having Rink on the floor this year, having a front court player that can make plays, get into the paint, that can initiate offense for us. I think you've seen we've been pretty effective the last couple of years when we've had that type of guy on the floor. 2 years ago with Derek, and then last year with Rink. And also Josiah grew in a big way in that kind of playmaking role as well. But that's certainly something Burke can do, and also stretch the defense with his ability to shoot.
Coach, you're coming off one of the most successful seasons in a decade. You get a new contract extension. How much more comfortable do you feel going into the season, just personally at ease? I know you can never relax in the Big Ten, but how much at ease do you feel compared to past seasons, and how can that help recruiting-wise?
Oh, God, I'm never at ease. It's just the business that we're in. I'm up every morning, when I get up 3, 4, whatever it is, and I'm up. It's just, it's that time of year where you're just thinking, all right, do I have everything in? What else do we need to go through? We had a 2-a-day 2 days ago just to work on special team stuff in the afternoon, special situation type things. So, I don't think any of us in this business are ever at ease going into the year. I know we need to grow. We need to get better at a lot of things from last year. The thing I really liked about last year's group is how they continue to get better and improve as the season went on. And I really do think we were playing our best basketball at the end of the year. We just ran into a really, really hot team, when the tournament rolled around. But I like our group. I think they will compete. Again, we're going to continue to have to see growth with the team, fight through adversity. And I know everybody that's up here talking in front of media right now in my position is talking about the same things. And the ones that get it and don't just talk about it are the ones that are going to be standing at the end of this thing in March. But yeah, it's a fun group to be around. Very similar makeup, I think, to the last 2 teams that we've had.
Much more solid, though, is the program, do you feel, now as opposed to a couple of years ago?
I think 2 years ago we were really solid. We just had 2 of our starters that went down with season-ending injuries when we were on pace to make the tournament. And, to our guys' credit, they found a way to regroup and finish with the best record in the Big Ten in the month of February. So I loved what that group was 2 years ago, and I'm sick that they didn't get to experience the NCAA tournament, especially a guy like Sam Griesel who came home for his last year. But then, last year's group, they figured it out. We figured out the rotation as we went on, and it was a really good team to coach. So I've been really proud of the way the thing has gone the last 2 years, and it's grown, I guess, incrementally every year, from a win total, and hopefully we can take the next step this season.
What is the next step for Bryce? He was playing really well at the end of last year, but what's the next move for him?
Yeah, I think being the leader of this team is really what we need out of Bryce this year, and I give him a lot of credit. He's been really, really solid in that area, but when you lose Josiah, Casey really did a good job leading by example, and he really became comfortable leading with his voice as his career went on. And then Rink isn't going to be on the floor. Now, Rink can still lead, but it's hard to lead when you're not out there playing and on the floor. So Bryce, we've talked a lot about taking that next step as a leader. His game has grown in a huge way. Playing with the ball in his hands last year was great for his career, and we'll play some lineups, I think, still with him as the lead guard because we were so good in that when he was in that role a year ago. Not only offensively but defensively, our numbers really improved when Bryce went to guarding the other team's point guard. But yeah, Bryce, he's getting a lot of attention right now. We've had a lot of scouts in the gym. Looking at our guys, looking at our group, and Bryce certainly has the ability to get there, and it's going to be by doing the little things. It's going to be guarding every game. It's going to be making plays, high assist to turnover, continuing to shoot the ball at a high clip like he's done the last 3 seasons. But he's been awesome. I'm really proud of Bryce for where he's come from a leadership perspective.
Connor's obviously a shooter, but how much does his outlook this year depend on all the things that aren't shooting?
Yeah, he obviously played in a great program and a very defensive-oriented team with Wisconsin, and played for a great coach and great guard for 2 seasons. And really, I think, saw the highs and lows that you can go through in this game as a player, being a starter at Wisconsin his freshman year, setting an all-time record for three-pointers made as a freshman, and then kind of falling out of the rotation a year ago. But, Connor, I'll say this about him. He gives a great effort defensively. He blocks out every possession. He's trying to go out there and use his body. He's a really good verticality, and those guys at Wisconsin are as good as anybody in the country at that. And then his ability to stretch the floor, obviously we need that from not having Casey out there, but also CJ, moving into a new situation. So, needing him out there, we're going to have a good year out of Connor. But, again, I've been really pleased with what I've seen, not only with his shooting ability, but some of the things he's done on the other end as well.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you guys.